I'm still in love with The Chi. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Welcome back to my channel. Listen, we are reviewing a new show, a new series. So this just may happen to be the first time you've ever come across me. Stay a while and rock with me while we watch The Chi this season. We are reviewing season 1, episode number 3, Ghosts. Honey, they know how to keep you, Lena and Common know how to keep you intrigued. Those writers have me stuck. The cast is doing an outstanding job, okay? Like, do you agree with me? Let me know down below in the comments. So when this episode first starts, we see, I want to say that his co-worker's name is Lewis, but we see Brandon and Lewis in the car together. Lewis is smoking and offers it to Brandon. Brandon rejects it. You know, he was like, how much is it going to cost? I brought $500 with me. Oh, that's too much money. Just pull out what you want and put the rest in your shoe. So the guy pulls up, they get out the car. He's like, how much do you want to spend? He said $300. He said, okay, cool. I got a .40 caliber and 3 additional clips that you can get at $50 each. So I'll take the 300 and then the 50. So Brandon's all like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna need them extra clips. I don't know. He was like, okay, then we back to the 300. And Brandon is sitting there like confused, don't know what he gonna do next, like pausing and shit, like he unsure if he wanna get the gun. And the seller of the gun is all like, you tripping. You gonna get the gun or not? And he was like, I don't think I want it. Lewis is looking at Brandon like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm looking at Brandon like, what the fuck is you doing? You drove way out here, got that money from the bank. My nigga, you ain't gonna buy the gun? Yeah, you a regular dude. It's okay to be a regular dude. It's okay to be a regular dude. Just stay in your lane and don't go get nobody hurt, because what happens next is you get the gun pulled out on you because, nigga, you playing. Like, what are we doing here? You playing with me. He tells Lewis, get over to your van. He gets over to the van and hits Brandon on the head. Takes the $300, takes the gun, and goes on. Young Brandon is on the ground because he is in over his head and should just do what regular people do. Go to the police and say, I think I know who killed my brother Coogie. Like, what? But I'm not understanding why he couldn't do that. Lewis helps him get up. Oh, is that his name? I made that up. And they go off. So then we see Ronnie sitting on the couch in the house, getting high as a kite. Now, I want to know what he was smoking that caused him to be hallucinating, because, baby, weed don't do it. Now, I'm not a weed smoker, but I have smoked weed in my lifetime, and I know that it don't cause you to hallucinate. It causes you maybe to think a little more, cause you to maybe be a little paranoid, not really, but real conscious and slow and hungry, but it don't make you hallucinate. He was hallucinating. He saw Coogie on his couch, and Coogie's all like, they gonna find out. They coming for you. Watch yourself. It's gonna be backfired, because I didn't kill your son. And, you know, Ronnie's having a moment like, why did he have his chain on? Why did he have his chain on? We knew that Ronnie was feeling fucked up about killing Coogie in the first place. So then we see Brandon again, who runs to his mom's house, you know, after he got pistol whipped. And the boyfriend is there. He's all like, where's my mom? Where's mom? You know. And the boyfriend's all like, she in there. What happened to you? What's wrong? And he instantly realizes that Brandon knows who killed Coogie. He actually helps him out by cleaning up gives him something to clean up his head, go get a t-shirt that happens to be Coogie. And Coogie's, and tells him, you know who killed him. You know who killed him. And, you know, Brandon trying to play it off like, nah. So then Brandon goes outside, finds his mom, and she asks him, what happened to your head? And he was like, oh, nothing, whatever, you know. And she throws a bomb on him that she's selling the house that they grew up in, that his grandfather owned, that he is half owner in. And he tells her, I own half of it. You can't sell it. And she says, you gonna get your half. Y'all, I cut my hair, y'all. You know, I just perused right over it like y'all didn't see it. Whatever. But I will be wearing some wigs, so don't worry. So then we see Emmett. Emmett is at Keisha's house in her twin little bed, honey. Her little chocolate skin is naked. He naked. Well, at least they got their underwear on, their bottom underwear on or whatever. And he trying to get some. And she's saying, no, not without no condom. You ain't going to put no baby in me. Listen, babies is probably not, is the least of your worries. You better hope you don't get no diseases fucking without a condom. Y'all use a condom. You hear me use a condom? I talk to you as I talk to myself. So, she all like, no, my mama gonna come home. He all like, we could do other stuff. We don't have to do that, you know. And then here you go. Keisha. Here come her mama, honey, coming in. You know, mamas have, you got doors closed. That don't mean shit up in my house, honey. Especially when you in 16, 17. Hell, I think I was living with my mama when I had my baby. And she was coming in the room like, boom. You know, well, you know, like what the doors closed for. I'm getting dressed or some shit. So Emmett goes out the window and is waiting on the side of like the little back porch area while the mama comes in, and she's all like, well, what are you doing? Because she's putting on her clothes. She's like, I'm just getting ready for bed. I mean, when I tell you that the timing was right, the timing was right. So the mama believes her, going about her business, and Emmett is all like, call me, girl. Quit fooling with him. That boy got babies floating around. He just letting off loads in people, okay? And you young enough where you nice and fertile, and your little eggs is going to be like, ooh, girl, get it together. So then we see Brandon again, and he goes home to Jerica, and Jerica asks him, what happened to your head? And she said, he said, something happened at work. You know, she didn't believe that shit. None of us is going to believe that shit. You got some shit on your temple. Somebody fucked you up. We know better. So then he ends up coming clean about what he was doing. And she was like, wait a minute. What's all this hood thug type shit? We got a plan. This ain't who you are. You need to come back to reality. You know, he trying to make it like she don't understand. No, she understand. You're going to get yourself hurt fucking around doing some dumb shit. So then we flash back into Emmett. Emmett waking up from home. Emmett has a rude awakening that he has no more privacy anymore. His son comes in like children do. Shit, my 10-year-old still be trying to bust in on me. My 21-year-old, he don't walk in the door, but, you know, he be standing by the door like, give me some privacy. Give me 15 minutes. If my stomach is bubbling, I need to shit. Give me my time. This is the only time I get to myself. Let me have it. But, you know, kids that age, he 1, 2 years old, he don't give a fuck about nothing. And then the mama walks in like mamas do. The mama walks in and she tells him the plan for the day. Do you go to work? I'm taking Emmett. We going to the Gap and to the park. And tells him to make sure to ask Sonny for some more hours because you're going to need them. But it looks like mama's back on board in helping her son. You know, a little tough love. Hopefully it'll shake him up. So then we at Kevin and Keisha's house. And we see that Kevin and Keisha's mom is a lesbian. They are in a homosexual relationship. We don't notice that though until they start talking about the play and Kevin being in the play, and then there's some cursing, and in walks the mom. Mom number 2 says, throw the money in the swear jar. I mean, they operating like a regular family. I'm trying to think, was there any other significance to that? Probably not. Just the fact that he's supposed to be in the Wiz and to see the dynamic of their family household. So then Ronnie goes up to Tracy's job trying to get forgiveness for missing their dinner. He comes with some flowers, but he can't tell her why, where he should have just told her why. He should have said, you know, the little boy got killed that I thought was, you know, Jason's killer and blah, blah. He should have came through. That might have worked better for him than him just saying, I don't know. He had tears coming down his eyes and shit. I kind of felt for him for 5 seconds, but not really. Because I'm really harboring some animosity towards him for killing Coogie, okay? I am. I'm just telling y'all that I am. It is the truth. She says, leave me the fuck alone, okay? Then we go into Brandon and Jerica the next morning. All is forgiven. She forgives him and she says, I know you're going to do the right thing. Like, fuck the dumb shit. And Brandon asks her to go over to his mom's house and to have a conversation since Laverne is selling the house. He wants to make sure that she's doing the right thing. You know, what did he say? Talk some sense into my mama. You know, help her show that, let her know this ain't the right way to go. Then we pop up and we see Quentin. He in the hood walking up on, you know, a G-Wagon with the 2 drug dealers on the outside walking up, and the homeboy is all like, go on, old man. And he all like, y'all just, you know, waiting to be caught. Okay, now listen, Listen, that little boy evidently don't know how to read the signs. That man didn't flinch. He didn't jump. He didn't scare. His swag didn't change. He was still cool as a cucumber. That alone should have told you that he was somebody. He was looking for Trice, and he had the nerve to show his gun. He said, so what, I'm supposed to show you mine now? Like, what the fuck that mean? So Trice was like, hey, he cool, get in the car. Now listen, the conversation in the car, you could see who had the upper hand, though Trice tried to pretend like he was, you know, with the business, and we knew who was in charge. We knew that Q is not to be played with. You know, I believe that Q is the head of all these operations, okay? And though Trice wanted to pretend like, you know, yeah, can't nobody school me on nothing, can't nobody teach me nothing, whatever the fuck it was that he said, you could see that Q wasn't playing. Look at me when I talk to you. See, now a real nigga would have been like, who the fuck you talking to now? Even though he tried to play that role, we knew damn well that that was not the case. He was shook by Quentin, okay? He knows that Quentin could do some serious damage. He knows that Quentin is the one that put him on. He knows that Quentin is not to be fucking played with. We now know that Quentin is not to be played with. So then we see Emmett at work with Sonny. He asked Sonny for a few more hours. Sonny's like, I'll keep you in mind, but make sure you get Q back his money quickly as soon as you can. He is no one to be played with. Now, if you notice the theme, everybody realizes that Q is nobody to be played with. And Sonny is Q's brother. Now, I don't even know if that man's name is Sonny or if it's just the name of the restaurant, but that's what we call him. I want to say his name is Sonny. We see Ronnie walk up on Cruz while Cruz is pulling up for work. And Cruz is like, back the fuck up. Like, don't walk up on me like that. And Ronnie is pretty much saying, hey, I'm looking for my all my son's belongings came back, but the only thing that was not in there was his phone. Do you know where his phone is? And he was like, nah, I don't know where his phone was. I don't have it. We gave you everything we had. You know, that was the basis of that. But the whole time you saw Wallace in the window looking at the interaction between Cruz and Ronnie. So Kevin's on his way to school, and out pops Maisha. Y'all ever have a girl for a bully? I was the big girl in my growing up. I was the bigger of the girls. Like, I'm really not that tall. I'm probably only 5'5", 5'6", but I look tall, and I've always been of statue, as we will call it. But I've always been that girl. I wasn't the girl trying to like kiss the boys or whatever, but I was a tomboy. I might have been a low-key bully, but I only hung with the boys, and the girls were scared of me because I was mean as fuck, and I'm sometimes still mean as fuck. I try to work on that. But Maisha tells him, you know, you ain't no gangster, you sweet. And I'm a gangster. And it's the funniest shit. She snatches him around there and gets her a kiss, honey. Takes her a kiss, and then sticks her tongue out and try to get her a little French kiss. Oh, Kevin was scared. Oh my God, Kevin was scared. Y'all remember being young like that? Like, I remember being young like that. And he takes off down the alleyway. So then we're back at Brandon, and Brandon and Jerica are at Laverne's house, and she's walking through the house saying this house has great potential. You can get a good dollar for this house. Asks about any paperwork they signed. He shows some paperwork from a Daryl Wright. Now we're going to find out who he is. He must be somebody of shading dealings his own self for her to know who it was directly. And that was an intent to sell. Not really. He didn't, you know, they didn't sign anything saying that they would sell the house with him. But Jerica tells Laverne that she could get a good dollar for it. That with all the upgrades are going around in the community, that the house will go up. The selling price of the house will go up. And anybody who is trying to sell their house, that's like, ding, you know, their antennae go off like, I can get more money. Brandon wasn't happy with that. Brandon was so unhappy with it that him and Jerica had an argument outside. And like, damn, you sideswiped me. It was meant. Why would you go against the grain? You threw that on me, and I didn't even know that is what was happening. My goodness. And she said to him, it's really not about the house, is it? It's about your relationship with your mother. you need to handle that. We see Ronnie go over to Merrick. Merrick is the guy we saw sell the gun. He sold the gun to. Merrick is doing some shit with his puppy, you know, some old bullshit. Be quiet because the puppy can't pee. And Ronnie is seeking his assistance and trying to figure out who killed Jason. And pretty much Merrick is like, okay, you're going to have to do something for me. And what he wants is to make sure he gets his shit square, because he found out that there's a body on the gun, which is Coogie's. And you lied to me that there's a body on the gun, and if anybody come looking for me, I'm going to come after your grandmama, your girlfriend, and whoever the fuck else. And you. All y'all ain't going to make it. Like, he threatens him because of his fuck up. He's all like, clean your shit up. Get your shit together, clean your shit up. Okay, so then we see Ronnie. He goes to Habib's Corner Market and he starts asking about the 3 kids that come in there for drinks. And, you know, like a grown-up would, like, what are you asking about them for? That's what Habib says. And he says, oh, I think that they were friends with my boy Jason and they may want some of his stuff. I mean, he just slid that in, and Habib believed him and said they went to Hopkins. So Cruz is in the bathroom and Wallace walks in. Like, nigga, you come corner me in the fucking bathroom? He asked him about Ronnie. Who was the dude? And he said, oh, that was the, you know, he explained who Ronnie was. And that he was looking for his son Jason's phone that wasn't there. And Wallace was like, so did you tell him that Coogie was, you know, we had him in custody, you know, trying to see if the two correlated? Cruz said, nah, I didn't. Wallace went on his way. Told him about the make sure third field at the, you know, MacArthur Park for the baseball game. So then we see the 3 kids, school lets out, and that we see, is it Sean, Papa, and Kevin coming out the school, clowning, looking like regular kids, like regular junior high school kids. Clowning. I mean, when I think back on being in junior high, that's what it was like. Actually, I went to a private school, but I'm sure a lot of y'all could relate. I went to a private school in junior high and in high school, so I'm sure y'all can relate. I'm doing this to my hands because it's cold in my house. Kevin spots Ronnie, tells his boys, there goes old boy, and they run in. He was like, where we gonna hide? And they go into the auditorium. Of all places they could hide, in the auditorium. Well, that is where they are practicing for the play, The Wiz. And the teacher, the director of the play, says, oh, you brought your friends, and you could be the Lollipop Kids. Oh, the Lollipop Guild, or whatever they are. And they go in the back and they try on the little clown wigs or whatever to be the Lollipop Guild. And they start to have this argument. The dynamic between the 3 of them are how best friends be. Like, man, you know, shut the fuck up. It's your fault. You know, that whole back and forth that they're doing. And Kevin just lets it be known it's not him, y'all, that he looking for. It's me that he wants. I'm the one that saw the shit. So Sean tells him, well, then go step to him man to man and tell him that he ain't got nothing to worry about. You know, and Kevin's all like, well, how am I supposed to do that? Now, wait a minute. Oh, that don't seem right. You know, shit. I'm like, nah, Kevin, don't go to him by yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Papa ends up agreeing with him, and then they cut to Wallace. Something wasn't right about Wallace. I knew something wasn't right about Wallace. He hopped out of that car on that homeless man and started asking about a cell phone. And we know whose cell phone he's asking about. He's asking about Jason's phone. He wants him to keep an eye out for that phone and to give it to him. Like, we knew he was shady. I felt it in my spirit. I can't wait to see how he is all intertwined in this bullshit. So then we get to Brandon, and he's at his mom's house cleaning out Coogie's room, taking the clothes to Goodwill, and he sees his mom, and he asks his mom, what's really going on? Why do you want to sell the house? And it's real, as plain as day. I can relate. She said, it's like he's still in there. I sometimes can feel him. I can smell him, and I can't handle it. I can't handle walking past his room. I've got to sell the house. And I mean, you can't disagree with that. You can understand that. I mean, I lost my husband, so I can understand when I lived in my in the apartment we lived in together. He was still there, so I jumped at the opportunity to move. But then they have a heart-to-heart where she says, I know you think that I love Coogie more. She said, no, I didn't. I knew that you would be okay. So he needed me more. And, you know, and she kind of apologized for that. And they hugged and cried because, you know, evidently that was the bad blood between the two of them. You know, they got different dads, so they look a little different. And he probably did feel like he treated Coogie a little better. But thank God he didn't treat Coogie differently because of what he thought about his mom. So then we see Emmett. Emmett goes to the corner store. You know, Emmett is looking for more work. He needs a job. But when we see Emmett, a black kid is running out of Habib's store. And he calls him an apple, which I imagine is some racial slur. I have no idea what apple means. Y'all let me know if you know down below in the comments what the hell that means. Apple, is that like nigger? What is that? Like, so Emmett's all like, what the fuck you call him? But he goes in and he shoots his shot about trying to work there at the store. And Habib's son says to him, get me some retro J's in a size 4. I think he said J's. I don't know what the fuck. Retros in a size 4. And I might have some work for you. Bring them and I think I can get some work for you where you can get paid under the table cash. I was looking at Emmett and I was going, he kind of cute though. He really is cute. What did he play on? He looks so familiar, like he's played on something prominent that I'm aware of. Y'all know? Let me know down below in the comments. So Jerica pulls up at the property that she's showing, and who is she showing it to? Up walks Quentin. And she asks him, how did you know that this property was for sale? Because the sign keeps getting miraculously taken down. Well, they go in and she gives a firm handshake. He compliments her. You know, they have a little bit of a conversation. And when she walks in, she shows him the place. He says, is this where you're going to tell me that this is a great place with a little plank and blah, blah, blah? And she was like, no, I was going to tell you about the places in Windsor Hills. He was like, I like it here. As a matter of fact, I'll take it. She said, let me run up the contract, write up the contract. He said, no need. Here is the card. Here's my lawyer's card. Call him. Give me the keys tonight. I don't plan on having a mortgage. Homeboy's gonna pay it in full, okay? That's how you know. That's how you know, honey. And it sat uncomfortably with Jerica. Did you see her eyes? Like, she knew that something wasn't right about him. You want the keys tonight? You gonna pay it in full? You gonna pay cash for it? Yeah, something ain't right. So we see Brandon and his cousin have a little word or two because cousin rolls up to loan him the van so that he can go take the Coogie's clothes to Goodwill. Okay. Then we see Emmett. Emmett's been looking for a job all day, but he goes to Reg, a little hustler, and Reg offers him a job. Like, you can make some money with me real quick. You can start right now. Let's get going. You can make up to $1,000 is what Emmett calculates the money out to be. But Emmett's like, you know what? Let me think about it. Reg telling him, if you have to think about it, this ain't for you. And I'm so glad that Emmett did not take him up on his offer right away. But we know that eventually he gonna be hustling, whether it be for Reg or if it be for Q. We know that Emmett then gonna get himself caught up in some bullshit. Okay, we know that for a fact that it is coming, that he's gonna be caught up. So then we see Cruz at his house and he can't sleep because he's constantly thinking about Coogie and how he fucked his life over by telling Ronnie that he had him in custody. So much so that he ends up telling his girl, his wife, his fiance, and she's all like, fix it. Fix it. I mean, he's feeling real bad about it. I mean, as he should, don't you think? So then we see Ronnie pull up at on the block. You know, he tired, he have a drink, but Kevin is waiting for him across the street. He goes over to see Kevin and he's all like, what's up, man? I see you looking for me. He was like, we good? He was like, I say if we good or not. You know, have that little back and forth with a 12-year-old. Come on, dude. Like, did you tell anybody? No, we good. You know, so we thinking everything's cool. We pop up and we see Quentin again. They cut and we see Quentin. He done pulled up a table, a radio, and his cigar, and he looking out the window. Like, he looking at the block boys and through the window like, what's happening? I need to know what's going on. What's the point of this? Why is he watching them? What was the correlation of the young Jason to Quentin? What's happening? What is it? Because Jason knew some information and so he feels like Trice and them had him killed? Like, what's happening with that? What y'all think? What kind of speculation is y'all going through? What do you guys see happening from that? What's the point of that? So as the episode comes to a close, we see Kevin go and see Brandon. And when he goes to see Brandon, he goes under the pretense to find out you know, if Brandon had told anybody about what he said. And when Brandon assures him that he hasn't, he tells Brandon, okay, well, I'm going to get back home, but dude, can you walk me home? Because I got to walk through the park and X, Y, and Z. And, you know, I'm feeling for the kid. Like, oh, yes, night is rough. You done rolled over here far. You done rolled over here far and everything. So he says, yeah. Walks him back through the park. Talking, having a little chit chat. You know, how things going. You got girl problems, all this stuff, and this, that, and the third. And then as they walk up, Brandon says that, you know, Kevin starts to slow down, and Brandon's all like, what's up? What's up, Kev? What's wrong? What's the matter? You could talk to me. You know, you could tell me anything. And then out of the tunnel walks Ronnie. When Brandon turns around, Ronnie says, I heard you've been looking for me. And that's where the fuck they leave us. Okay, that's where they leave us. What do you think is going to happen in episode 4? They have to have some sort of a showdown. Okay, who gets killed? Does somebody get killed? I mean, I feel like it's too soon for Ronnie to die. I feel like it's too soon for Brandon to die. And if we saw some clips for in the next episode, we saw Brandon and Kevin running. So I just want to know what happened. Something happened to Ronnie. Y'all, what do you think? What is your prediction of what's happening in next week's episode? I think I covered just about everything. If I haven't, let me know down below in the comments. What did I miss? Let's talk about it a little bit more. You and I are family, and in order for us to build this relationship, we've got to have a conversation. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Chi. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.